Good afternoon. I thought I would break away from some of the spiritual applications and go with some practical thoughts on what you need to do or some things that you need to consider when taking a parent into your home. Uh, these are some things that I've learned down through the years. I'm not saying these are all of them, and I'm not saying that all of them will apply to your situation. But these are definitely some things that I wish I had thought about and I had considered as time went on. The first thing is, if you have siblings, discuss that with your siblings before you take a parent into your home. Do this even if the parent's able to take care of themselves. When my mother came to live with me, she was able to take care of herself. She was able to do all the things that she had normally been doing. It was for safety reasons that she moved in with us at the beginning. But even when that happens, let your siblings know that your home is open to them, that they should look at this in the same manner as they would if this was your parents' home and they were living by themselves. They need to come and visit. They need to bring family. They need to do all those things that they would have normally done if that parent were still living by themselves in their home. Also encourage them, take out time. If you did this before, if you invited a parent to your home for dinner or for a special occasion or for a holiday, if you went by, picked them up, took them shopping, if y'all decided to go together and visit another relative, if you wanted to take them on vacation, let the siblings know they can still do that. It's not required that they have to invite you and your family that also lives in the household with them, but treat that parent as if they were not living in your home in some instances, because this is their personal time with the parent. Plus, it continues to strengthen those bonds between the parent and the siblings. Discuss how to take extra time and care to give your family, your personal family, time together. Discuss what they can do in order to allow you your private time and your time to spend just with your family without the parent. Not trying to be ugly or trying to exclude your parent that's living in the household with you. However, you still have a family, and you still have, if you're married, you still have a husband or a wife. You still have relationships that you need to continue to bond with and continue to strengthen and to continue to have time with. And your siblings can help you in that, in creating those opportunities for the parent to be with their family, to give you and your family time to spend together. And realize this is going to be an adjustment. It's going to be an adjustment for the parent. It's going to be an adjustment for you and your family. It's going to be an adjustment for the other siblings. And it's going to take time, and it's going to be a work in progress. It's not going to come up suddenly. It's not going to just work out overnight that you are going to adjust to this. It's going to be a continuous adjustment as time goes on. They say patience is a virtue. That is true. But prayer is a necessity when you're taking a parent into your home. Pray for guidance in how to deal with this adjustment, and pray for your parent that they help to adjust well. The second thing is, if you don't have siblings, solicit assistance from others to help keep your parent involved with things outside of the home. Contact other family members, maybe some of their siblings or their relatives of some sort, maybe friends from church or their neighbors, or maybe church organizations or other church or other events that may be of interest to your parent. Get them involved early. so that way the parent doesn't feel secluded and doesn't get to the point where they want to remain secluded in your home. They still need to be involved with outside things. And this is taking into consideration that they still can be. There are some other practical things we'll look at if that's not the case. Thirdly, when there comes a time when your parent may require more assistance than they do right now, you need to keep records. Keep a journal of issues that you observe with that parent, such as health issues or mental issues or anything that may come up. There were times down through the years that we started seeing some changes with my mother. And I took records for a while, but then because they only came occasionally, because they didn't come that often, I began to think that I was reading into something that wasn't there. So I quit keeping records. I want to encourage you, keep records, even if these things come up occasionally. If it only occurs today and it's months before it occurs again. And when you keep these records, detail it. This is what you observed. This is the date that it occurred. If there's a time frame on it that this went over, like for instance, if it was a health issue that took several days to recover from, record that. Record what the remedy was to take care of that particular situation. This could also be sleeping habits or eating habits. These things will be vital as time goes on to help you see if there's a pattern developing and if that pattern is either stretching out longer or it's becoming more and more apparent more often. Keep a detailed list of the parent's medication. That includes what that medication is used for, how often they take it, because you may have to at some point start preparing their medicine for them. So that you make sure that they are taking it as they should. That came to a point with my mother a number of years ago, and she started getting more confused, so I started doing that. Also, you can use this and have this detailed list with you, because if there is an emergency situation, you want to have that readily available. There were times when my mother would go to a doctor or she was admitted to the hospital. It was really good to have that medication list and the dosage and how often readily available that I could just give to them and they could make a copy or they could type the information in from that. Keep a list of your parents' medical doctors, their clinics, medical supply stores, any of those things that they need. This is also helpful. And again, keep copies of medical insurance cards, any other type of insurance information. I started keeping a copy of my mother's medical insurance cards with me all the time. It made it a lot easier so that I could easily pull that out. And then if I had to bring the hard copy later on, I could. Also, if they have a photo ID, you want to make sure you keep a copy of that, because a lot of the doctor's offices now are asking for those. Keep a list of emergency contact information. This is family members, siblings, anyone that you would need to contact in the event of an emergency or something had happened, and phone numbers so that you have this. It's good to also include any special instructions. If you took them to the doctor or the hospital, or you talked to someone on the phone and they gave you special instructions, write this down as well, because you look at it from the standpoint that if you're not available for someone to ask you, if you are unable to give them the information, that you have a journal, you have a folder there that has all of this information listed in it that they could easily pick up and take with them and access quickly. And even with those special instructions, if it is for a certain duration of time, you want to put that on there. For example, my mother went through cataract surgery. there was a duration of time of some of the eye drops that she had to use. So that would have been good for me to have written that down and put what it was used for and how often she would take it and when that was going to end. These are just part of the practical things that I hope will help you. And later on, I will discuss the rest of them. God bless you. Pray, seek God's face, and know that God shines down on you because you're willing to take care of a parent. He calls that an extra blessing, and He calls that you are blessed for doing that. God bless and keep you today. Amen.